The real estate market in 2025 has been a wild ride so far. But one thing remains true, it's been consistently more affordable to rent, at least initially, than it is to own a home. So why are people still deciding to buy their home rather than rent? I got some interesting metrics for y'all. Even though I'm a little biased, I still think you should buy your next home instead of rent. Let's dive into the reasons why people still buy homes when it's cheaper to rent, and I got 7 reasons right here in this video. One of the reasons why people decide to buy their home instead of rent is because they don't want to go back to renting. And moving from your home state to Colorado, it's tough to not have complete control over your living space. I mean, let's say you want to upgrade your backyard. Spending $5,000 for that backyard to make it how you want is something you could do on your own home, but not your rental place. Landlords don't want to put in the extra time, effort, or money into keeping up with the backyard. And let's say for a home that you want to rent out, just checking off that filter saying that it has a backyard is enough when you want to filter homes in Zillow. But the condition of that backyard may not be as nice as someone who wants to have the backyard they want, and that usually comes with home ownership. Another reason why people want to decide to buy instead of rent is because they want to have the customization opportunities, and it's so hard to do that when you're renting. Painting a wall sage green or installing a deck in the backyard is much easier when you don't have to get the landlord's approval, and I'll admit this is for people that have the money to be able to customize their future home. And those individuals that have the opportunity to customize the home want to have a home that feels like home. Typically for landlords, they find the best return in having eggshell colored walls and a vinyl plank flooring and things that are resistant to wear and tear because they'll get the biggest return on investment. For me personally, I've been living with renters for the past 10 years, and it's been such a clutch way to make my living expenses more affordable. And now that I'm older and have a wife with a 1-month-old child, I'm finally looking to having a home that we can just call ours, no renters. So with that, I can keep owning and I can deck out a house the way I want to have it decked out. It's been a long time coming. Of course, I wouldn't be able to have that opportunity if I didn't sacrifice my living situation in my 20s and early 30s. You have to earn that opportunity. But let's say you are in your 20s. I can't think of a better way to set yourself up for financial success than house hacking. And house hacking makes it equal to or even more affordable to own a home than rent. So what is it exactly? It's when you rent out a portion of your home to renters to, say, make $1,000 per month on your home, and instead of saving $5 a day from not going to Starbucks, which is about $150 per month, why not save $1,000 per month? It's exactly what I did as a young adult, and especially knowing that my biggest expense was housing. And if I were to start my home ownership journey in this market, I would take advantage of all the people who still want to rent and find the best tenant based on those large pool of renters here in 2025. It's how I was able to afford my first house hack in San Diego, California, and it's how I was able to afford my 2 homes here in Denver. And if you're ever interested in house hacking or how to make home ownership more affordable, all my contact information is down below in the description. I'd be more than happy to help. Real quick, before we continue, if you're thinking about moving to the Denver area, I have a 100% free relocation guide. Here, this QR code is right here. We'll take you right to it. Like I said, it's 100% free. It takes you to the biggest employers, the hospitals nearby, and also some of my favorite food places, and it gives you a good introduction to the Denver area. Make sure you go check that out. Like I said, it's 100% free, and I want to make sure you're making the right decision in where you want to go and also how you want to go about it. So if anything, you can also hit me up. All my contact information is down below in the description. Yeah, like I said, all free, lots of good stuff right there. Make sure you go check it out. A reason why people want to buy instead of rent is because people just like the stability. And both renting and owning a home come with its own variables. And those that rent have 2 pretty significant stressors every time their lease is about to end. Number 1, will my rent go up? And number 2, will the landlord renew my lease agreement? Renters might love the area that they're living in because it's in the school district they like for their kids. But if the landlord wants to move back into the home or doesn't want to renew your lease, you're at risk of moving out of the school district you like. So people who own their home usually lock in a 30-year fixed rate, meaning their principal and interest payments will stay the same for 30 years. Granted, at least in this market, the monthly rent payments are typically more affordable. However, with rents rising about 3 to 5% per year, rent prices will eventually equal mortgage payments. And renters may argue that they can invest the difference into the stock market. And what I mean by that is, let's say for a certain home in Denver, your mortgage payment would be $3,000 a month, but if you rent it, it would be $2,000 per month. And certain renters would argue to invest that $1,000 difference in the stock market. And to that, I would say, would you really invest that difference, or would you increase your lifestyle expenses? And a typical American, I would say they would increase their lifestyle expenses. And perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe you would invest since you're a savvy, financially literate individual, and that's kind of why you're watching the Invest in Denver YouTube channel. But I'm willing to take a bet that the majority of the renter population is not thinking like that. So for homeowners, a portion of their mortgage payment goes towards principal or paying down the loan, and think of it like a forced savings account. People might want to buy instead of rent because they are gifted the down payment money. And if your parents or relatives state that they're interested in giving you thousands of dollars to help with the down payment money so you can get a home of your own, would you take it? And according to CNBC, 23 to 40% of first-time homebuyers state they received a down payment gift from their parents to afford their first home. And when you consider a 5% down payment on a $600,000 home is $30,000, even a $10,000 gift goes a long way. Those that buy instead of rent also see that their net worth increases over time. Your home is a savings account, like I mentioned earlier. The principal of your monthly mortgage goes towards paying down the home loan, thus increasing your net worth. And the median homeowner in America has a net worth of $400,000, while the median net worth of a renter is $10,400. This $400,000 isn't easily attainable. It usually just stays with the house, but you can do what the millionaires and even billionaires do with illiquid assets. You take out a loan against it. And you may have heard about this loan. It's called the HELOC loan, HELOC. It's also called a home equity line of credit. And once you get a certain amount of equity in the home, a bank can lend you money based on that equity. And you can use that HELOC to improve on your home, like renovating the kitchen or updating the backyard, further increasing the equity that you have on the home. It's strategies like these that put the typical homeowner in an advantageous spot compared to renters, even though temporarily their monthly payment is higher than renters. Hey y'all, real quick, as much as I love making these videos, there's only one thing I love more, and it is making sure that you're moving to the right neighborhoods and you're making the correct move over to the Denver area. And I love helping out families. I've helped countless families move over to the Denver area, and I want to make sure that you're making the right move as well. So if you're ever curious and want to hit me up, all my contact information is down below in the description, just right there, maybe like a couple inches down. Make sure that you hit me up. You can set up a Zoom call with me. You can text me. You can even call me if you want to reach me. So looking forward to it. I want to make sure that you're making the right move. And of course, I have to talk about the tax deductions. I am not a CPA myself, but I have experienced the power of tax savings from being a homeowner. And let's say you are a single person and you own your home, and let's say you make a $500,000 profit on that home, you're able to write off $250,000 on capital gains tax just from owning the home. Now, if you are a married couple and you own the home, and let's say you make $500,000 on the sale of your home, you're able to write off $500,000 on the sale of that home. Thus, you don't have to pay taxes on that sale of the home. Also, another thing is the SALT deduction, which is the state and local tax deductions. Initially, it was capped at $10,000. Now it's capped at $40,000. And of course, talk to your CPA for any sort of details to take advantage of that as much as possible. Also, another thing is that mortgage interest deduction is a thing as well. You can write off up to $750,000 on your mortgage interest payments. Now, for me personally, there's a lot more reasons why I would decide to own a home rather than rent. I think for me personally, especially at my age right now, I just like the autonomy. I like the independence that I have instead of having to answer to a higher being or a higher, let's say, landlord or someone who owns the property when I'm the owner and I can do whatever I want with the property. So do you have any insights or any other reasons why you own a home instead of rent? Let me know in the comments below. I am fully interested in hearing what you got to say about that. Of course, if you have any questions on homeownership or how to make homeownership more affordable, all my contact information is down below in the description. Yeah, hit me up. You can even set up a free Zoom call with me. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you learned anything about this, and also share with any of your friends who are thinking about home ownership. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.